Fa la 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 la.
This is Bruce Buffer, and this is the moment you've all been waiting for. It's time for the MMA-Holes!
Mixed martial a-holes. MMA-Holes, 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 MMA-Holes. You like to be a mixed martial a-hole. MMA-Holes, 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 MMA-Holes.
No way.
From the Sanosi and D-Res Studios of Arizona, Jake Paul offers Jorge Masvidal big money. Chael Sonnen Brawl update. Bare Knuckle FC fighter Kaleb Harris. MMA news with the MMA-Holes. Let's go.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Merry Christmas, everybody. Well, last studio show before Christmas. I hope everyone's wonderful, wonderful in the chat. We're here hanging with the boys.
Hanging with the boys.
During these festive times, we're here to talk about the MMA news, UFC news, boxing news, Jake Paul, Jingle All the Way. What's your favorite Christmas movie? Let me know in the chat. And we have JBM coming in as well. Look at this. She's here. Yes. A delightful Wednesday night hanging with our favorite people in the world, the MMA Holes. So tonight we have a lot of things to talk about. Kaleb Harris will be coming on the second half of the program. The Lionheart has a fight, big fight, main event fight, Bare Knuckle FC. Chael Sonnen, a little more update on his story. We'll be discussing our thoughts on the Sonnen situation. Jake Paul has been all over the news ever since his epic knockout of Tyron Woodley. Tyron Woodley playing and having a little fun with it. Jake Paul cashing in, going on podcasts, hanging out, just enjoying his time. People are speculating whether the fight is real or fake. $20 million. Jorge says, Jake Paul says, I'll give you $5 million. $5 million if you come over here and fight me. And Jorge ups the ante to $20 million. $20 million. Jesse?
Yesy.
What do you think about that, Jess? First, Jake Paul's first offer at $5 million to fight, and then Jorge says $20
Well,
million.
Jorge's excuse was the UFC wouldn't allow him to leave for chump change.
Yes.
Is what he called it, which I don't believe. I think that Jorge is just milking Jake Paul because he knows that he can get the most money out of Jake Paul.
Mm-hmm. There you go. Yeah, $20 million? That seems a little steep, Mr. Masvidal. And then Jake Paul goes on his brother's podcast, Impulsive, which is, it's not easy to listen to. It really isn't. But yet I was listening to it, so I guess, I don't know, I guess it is easy to listen. I don't know. I was cringing the whole time, yet I couldn't stop listening because I was like, all right, what are these two assholes going to say next? But, yeah, it's a weird situation. Jake basically shit on Jorge Masvidal, a guy that was kind of helping him on the Askren rise. That fight that happened, you know, Jake Paul was at the gym and Jorge was giving him some pointers. They're boys. Jake Paul picks up the phone at the press conference. There's Jorge, ha 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 ha. Then he fights Tyron Woodley and then everything changes. Knocks out Woodley and says, you know, you're next. Nate Diaz is next. And he's throwing these big... Now, I mean, $5 million, the initial offer, is kind of nuts if you really think about it. I think Jake knows that he's locked up with the UFC, and I think Jake feels he's not going to fight me anyway at this stage of the game. Yeah. So I'm just going to save $5 million. Jake's not coming up with $5 million.
I don't think so. No.
I think
But,
it's horseshit.
I mean, he is loaded, so it's not impossible to think that he does have the money.
How much did Woodley make on that last fight? Did he maybe made $1 million?
I think they don't release that trailer.
Did he even make $1 million? Like I don't like how much did Tyron Woodley actually make? And now he's saying $5 million. I would think that Jorge Masvidal should have called his bluff and said, "Bro, where are you getting this $5 million? Like where is this coming from? $5 million? Like where are you? What? Whose ass are you pulling this out of?" I don't buy that. But then Masvidal goes $20 million. Then it gets a complete circus, complete circus of a situation. I mean, it's getting nauseating, to be honest with you. The Masvidal situation. He's with the UFC. Nate Diaz is with the UFC. As much as it would be fun to watch, I don't care because it's not going to happen at this moment. The person's name that jumps into the mix, courtesy of Luke Thomas, is Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. Like, I didn't even think about him. Like, he didn't. Now, he's actually a boxer. Best days behind him. Alcoholic, drug addict, the whole deal. But he's the gentleman that Anderson Silva beat in his boxing situation. And that's interesting. Have you had time to think about that?
No.
Julio Cesar Chavez Jr.
No, I have not.
The people out there are saying, hey, fight a real boxer, fight a real boxer. Yes, this guy's, he's out of his prime, but the guy was legit at one point, and it kind of makes sense, this fight. And as soon as I heard it this morning, I was saying to myself, you know what? This interests me. This interests me over here because I don't give a shit if Jake fights a boxer. Doesn't really matter. I just want to see novelty, ridiculous fights. I don't give a shit. I don't need Jake to test himself or any of that stuff. I just want to have fun. I just want to enjoy ridiculous. Here, look at this. We got an elf. We got an elf here. How did an elf get there? All right, let's ask Ellie what she thinks of the
Check out that shirt, Moss.
situation. Let's see. Oh, Ellie's got her MMA-Holes shirt. Oh, there she is. Little elf. There's Ellie. Ellie had an incident earlier today where she might have a concussion. I don't know. But here she is with her elf hat. Ellie, you ready to make everyone's Christmas delightful? This is the first family Christmas. I mean, I know this is completely throwing us off, but hey, it's Christmas time, so fuck you. This is our first Christmas together as a family. What do you think about that, Ellie? She's pumped up. This is kind of wild. So here we are. Let's take a family picture. Ready?
Okay, hold on. Let me fix her hat.
Okay, ready? We're going to take a family picture. We got to look over there. Okay, ready? Someone screenshot this, please. Put this on the MMAHoles.com. Ready?
She's like, no, I'm not into it.
If you can get anything out of that. All right, let's go, babe. Merry Christmas. And MMA-Holes family Christmas.
Wonderful, wonderful.
The glove touch.
Florida gave me COVID.
Did you
this
get...
shit hurts.
I'm not freaking surprised.
Well, I mean, yeah, you guys were prancing around with everybody over there.
No
Did you get
masks,
COVID?
No fucks given. Y'all out there running around like you're invincible.
Well, the good news is everyone
What do you think was going to happen?
Everyone I know in New York's got it now, too. That's not the good news. The good news is this variant apparently is not as bad. My brother has it, too. My brother freaking out. Everyone their mothers has it. But then my buddy Mike is prancing around V-neck. Oh, nice. He's prancing around. He's like, I got the booster. My whole family has it. I'm fine.
Well, Moss is doing the
running
same
around.
thing, and then he ended up getting it.
Yeah. But anyway, hopefully everyone gets better. Glove touch, I hope you get better, man. Hope you get better. Yeah, 'tis the season to spread the virus. Apparently that's what's going on right now. Business as usual for me. I'm still going to the gym. I'm not gonna let that shit stop me. But I hope everyone has a safe Christmas. My parents, they got to spend it just the two of them. Like, it's a bummer, man. They can't even see my nephews. Like, everyone in New York's got to stay separate because my brother's got COVID. My nephew's got COVID. So it's all fucked up. Yeah. Anyway, speaking of COVID, I don't really know how much do you have some stories on Jake Paul? Let's see what we got over here with this guy. Because, I mean, I don't really have much more to say about this. Chavez Jr. is interesting. That is an interesting fight. But let's be serious. He can fight a snake He could fight a freaking ostrich for all I care. I mean, it's just Jake Paul makes it interesting, you know? If he knocked out an ostrich, I'd be pretty into that. Would you watch that, Jess? Jake versus an ostrich?
Yes.
All right. New York City, Commeyville Neutral. Well, yeah, it's fucking nuts, man. Everyone I know has it right now. Everyone. That's kind of freaking wild. It's spreading like wildfire over there. But like I said, thank God, it's what's it called? It's not as bad. This Oprah what's it called? The Cron?
Omicron.
The Cron. Thank God the Cron is not that bad. You know. But anyway, all right, let's get to the stories here. What do we got on the news? Let's move over here. And like I said before, Kaleb Harris will be live on the show on the second half of the program. And hopefully he's having a happy holidays, getting ready for his big fight. It's a main event fight. Julian Lane was the gentleman he was supposed to fight. Let me bang, bro. And then that Mike Perry thing happened. So we're going to find out the story. We're going to get to the bottom of this when Kaleb comes on. But what do we get start with here?
All right. So Daniel Cormier is criticizing Tyron Woodley for his loss to Jake Paul and encouraging memes, saying that's a bad look. He's encouraging the memes, Moss.
Uh-huh. Now, which one do I click on? Just two of them.
Oh, they're the same. They probably just posted twice because I accidentally clicked it twice.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I don't think it really matters.
Okay, what is DC saying?
Hold on. According to MMA Fighting Newswire, during a segment on ESPN, Cormier lambasted Woodley not just for being KO'd by the YouTube star, but also in the way that he's handled being on the wrong end of that highlight. This week, Woodley held a contest to see who could create the best meme of the unfortunate ending of his rematch with Paul, and the winner was paid $5,000. That didn't sit well with Cormier. He said, T-Wood's my boy. I love T-Wood. That was not good. That's a bad look. And you know what's worse? The after. I don't know what T-Wood's doing on social media. He posts the knockout, makes a contest about it. It's like Jake Paul is beating these dudes so bad that they start to make fun of themselves. This is the second time that Paul has beaten Woodley. The first bout in August ended in a split call in Paul's favor, and the third straight win over an MMA star. In April, Paul defeated Woodley's teammate Ben Askren by first-round TKO to improve his pro boxing record to 5-0. Cormier, a two-division champ during his time in the UFC, has had his own run-in with Paul in the past, but he's giving the problem child his due after Saturday's win.
Okay, so yeah, this situation, if you didn't know about this, actually someone won already. The T-Wood sweepstakes. So $5,000 for the best meme. Let's see. Where's Tyron? Where's Tyron at? Tyron. I mean, at first I was just like, hey, he's having fun with it. Like, who gives a shit?
Yeah.
Like, really, seriously, who cares? I think this is the post here. Yeah, so here's the contest. So, here's him walking out all disappointed and shit. Meanwhile, he caught a nice bag of money. And yeah, what like, is DC not being a prick about this? Like, who cares? I don't know. Like,
I figure Woodley's like making fun of himself to kind of ease the. I think Woodley's making fun of himself to kind of ease the discomfort. You know, like I don't see what's wrong with it, but
yeah,
like if you can make fun of yourself, then
I like DC. I mean, like I don't dislike DC in any way, but I guess what happens is if you have a bunch of podcasts, if you're doing commentary, if you're all over ESPN. Eventually you're going to say some dopey things. And how is it a bad look? The fucking guy lost and he's having fun with it.
I guess...
who gives a shit?
The fact that T. Woodley's encouraging people to make memes about him is what he thinks is bad.
What should he have done? Should he have cried like DC cried after John Jones took him out? What? How should he handle it? Yeah, it's crazy. $5K for the best meme. But it doesn't matter. The meme... I think this is the one that won here. I don't even know if I could show this. I probably can't even fucking show this.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
Anyway, the guy that made the meme was Chris Ashley. Pretty funny stuff, this guy. Chris Ashley.
Of course, a verified account wins.
Yeah, well, this guy, I mean, he's been making memes. Like, he does all those weird, like, special effects stuff, like where they're falling through things and exploding and heads are, I don't know, igniting. That's what this guy's doing. But yeah, the contest is over, so don't put your... Oh, you know what? Keep on sending it to him just to piss him off. I don't know. But anyway, yeah, so Tyron Woodley. Let me know in the chat what you guys think about this. I think it's a little silly. I think DC's being... I don't know. He's being a little bit of a Karen or something. I don't know. Isn't it fucking... it's a little silly. Like, come on, Daniel, man. Like, loosen up, bro. Like, seriously.
Yeah. Let's see. Funk says DC feels like it embarrassed MMA fighters. Well, yeah, I'm sure that's that's probably why he has something to say about it.
You know what's more embarrassing?
Oh, here's what he says. He says, my biggest issue is these guys go in there to fight this dude. They lose to him. Ben Askren was immediately almost making fun of himself. It's almost like you're so embarrassed that you lost to a Disney kid or a YouTuber that you start to almost become self-deprecating. It's bad. It's bad what's happening to these dudes. What's unfortunate is I'm like, Tyron got him this time. Tyron got him. You told me, no way, Tyron's going to beat this dude. He's going to lose. I'm like, you're crazy. This guy goes and knocks out T-Wood. It was bad.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like they're just salty that Tyron's getting paid all this money and he lost.
Or he's afraid that Tyron Woodley made a bad image for the MMA community.
For the MMA community? Like, the only people, we spoke about this already. MMA fans aren't like, oh man, MMA fighters suck. Like, we don't think that. We all know in a real fight, a boxer goes into a fight, an MMA guy, the boxer gets dismantled. We all know this. In a real fight, a boxer gets dismantled by an MMA guy. So, like, as a hardcore fan, we understand that Tyron losing to Jake Paul is not the fucking end of the world. Yeah. Now, to a casual fan that can't comprehend the difference between boxers and MMA fighters, and MMA fighters going into a boxing world is at a huge disadvantage. I mean, who gives a shit? If the casuals can't figure it out, Tyron Woodley made a boatload of money 2 times. And he's probably going to fight again. More people know Tyron Woodley now than they did before. Now you could say, oh, he sold his soul, whatever. He's getting paid. But maybe DC's just jealous. You know, DC's got to be...
A lot of people would be jealous if they were making that much money.
Yeah, DC didn't get the opportunity after his situation with the UFC where he could have done these novelty fights. You know, that wasn't on the table. He could do it now, but probably a little past, when he wants to do it. Oh, you don't like your little hat? You don't like your little hat? That's you. But I think it's a little silly. I don't know. Maybe I'm... And I like DC, but it's I don't know.
Wonderful.
I thought 16-year-olds were immune. So him running around Florida didn't give a fuck. Doing jiu-jitsu. Sweating on fuckers. Yeah, this shit sucks. I'm gonna overdose on ibuprofen.
Don't take ibuprofen. They're saying don't take ibuprofen. Only take Tylenol or Mucinex because there's something in ibuprofen that causes it to get worse. Don't take ibuprofen, bro.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
Mucinex.
My doctor even told me Tylenol or Mucinex, no ibuprofen.
Yeah, take Mucinex. That helped us tremendously. Mucinex is great. A lot of hit the vitamins, the vitamin C, zinc. What is it?
Zinc, vitamin C, and vitamin D3. Yeah,
hit that up, and Pedialyte. Stay hydrated. You'll shake it. You're young. You'll bounce back. No problems. But yeah, stay away from ibuprofen. Anyway, and thank you for that donation. Look at that, coming in with COVID donating to us. Let's go, Glove Touch. Let's go. So, I want to get you. I know we probably missed some of your thoughts in the chat. Please repeat it right now in the chat so we can see. But what do you think about this DC situation? As we have a tired baby over here. Poor kid. What do you think about the DC situation here? Like I said before, I do feel that when you're in the public eye so much, when you have a microphone constantly in front of you, every once in a while you got to say something like a knucklehead. And I feel this take is a little silly, but maybe I'm crazy. Let's see. Remember the shopping during the pandemic song? Yes. Your baby is adorable. Thank you, Skyclad. Appreciate that. I can care less about DC anymore, says Guido. DC crying meme is by far worse than... Yeah, I know, right? Like, DC literally... I mean, listen. It's bad enough that he got fucking, his heart ripped out of his body. But then afterwards, him just sitting there and sobbing became a complete, like, Michael Jordan crying meme. Right? So at least Tyron Woodley took it like a champ, man. The dude face planted into the mat. You couldn't fucking get knocked out any worse. But he still hung in there. He stayed tough. Maybe DC's salty, but I don't know. Everyone's sick. Must be the season. Everyone I know in Ohio has COVID. A few died. Wow. Yeah, dude, it's everywhere. Well, in New York. Did you take the vaccine? Yes, I did. But I didn't do no booster or anything. I just did the 2 shots. And then I got COVID, so, it is what it is. I have in Ohio, Jason, DC's been in the news a lot for saying dumb things. It does seem like that, right? It's just like one thing after another. All about the cake and chicken. Yeah, the guy, he did all about the cake and chicken. He's talking about, that's a great one right there, KC. DC's the guy all about the cake and the chicken, whatever the fuck that is. And he's snapping with his shirt off and he's poking fun at himself. Tyron Woodley tries to make a little light of the situation. He got embarrassed. He makes light of it. It's the end of the world. Very hypocritical. This is a bummer, man. DC was on the top. DC was one of the guys that I really was going for. Anytime someone asked me, hey, who's your favorite fighters? I would always say Conor, DC, Black Beast. Those are the three. I threw Uriah Hall in there too. I was like a little wild card. But Conor, DC, Black Beast were my three. And I rooted hard. I even told John Jones I'm a big DC fan. I was always ride or die with DC. So it's a bummer, this post-fight career that's happening here. And it's just quote after quote where you're scratching your head bro, I don't know. Maybe he was misquoted. I didn't actually hear him say this, but Jesse pulled the article and it was under the quotes, so I don't know how that could be misquoted. DC is so cringe. What I said. I'm in Sandusky for now. I used to stay in Columbus when I was younger, and my friend went to OSU. All right? Yo, Clayton coming in.
Wonderful.
With the $2 dono.
Julio Cesar Chavez lost his last fight against Anderson the Goat Silva. Jake's on a current winning streak. Anderson Silva is currently on a winning streak. Jake loves fighting old washed-up MMA fighters. Fight Silva and Jake goes to sleep.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's why they're not fighting. That's why Cesar Chavez Jr. is the gentleman that's in talks to fight Jake Paul and not Silva. It's a business strategy. And that's the thing. You can't take it too serious right yet. Yeah, he knocked out Tyron Woodley, and that's impressive. Fight was trash, but that's impressive that he knocked him out. Keep on putting if people are willing to stand in front of him and take L's or try to defeat him and fail miserably, then so be it. But I don't need Jake to lose. If people are dumb enough to get in there and quote unquote embarrass themselves, I mean it's a joke as it is. I feel like right now at this point, if we're bringing guys in there to defend MMA's honor, I feel like it's too early. Let them keep on beating up these guys. That's what I think at least. So Chavez Jr., if he gets in there, then which he probably will be. I don't know. Chavez Jr.'s he was actually pretty good at one point. So he's a boxer, right? Yeah, Anderson beat him, but Anderson is a G. So if he beats Chavez Jr., then we got to be okay, it's getting interesting. Let it progressively. We don't have to throw him to the wolves. Anderson would destroy him, and that's why Jake don't want that smoke. It's funny though how Jake was I don't want, if I beat up an old, it's a lose-lose situation. He goes, if I beat up an old guy, I beat up an old guy. And I forgot what the other one is, but he's something a lose-lose situation. I can't fucking remember. This hat's too tight on my head. By the way, shout out to Roberto Hernandez. Dropped our first ever New Year's Eve donation that we dropped last night on our second channel. It's in the description down below if you want to drop our brand new spanking $20.22 2022 New Year's donation. It's in the description down below if you'd like to support the show. We got another dono coming in. The Sonosi.
Wonderful.
What's it about retirement making most of these ex-UFC fighters into salty Karens? I'm convinced DC bet on Wood and got embarrassed, after likely saying a lot of shit. Like everyone crying rigged cause they didn't get the result they wanted.
Yeah, it feels weird, right? Why is everyone crying and shit like that? And MMA fans, me personally, Jake Paul saying he's going to embarrass the UFC and this and that, I don't take anything that to heart. We all know what would happen inside the UFC. Jake don't want to jump inside an MMA cage and fight these killers. They'll take him down, twist his fucking leg off, and beat him with it. Jake don't want any of that smoke. He wants to play in boxing, and I'm cool with that. I don't. It's all good. And him saying that he, boxing is this and boxing is that, and he's trying to trash on the UFC. I can't take any of that to heart. Because if it wasn't for guys like Conor McGregor, there would be no Jake Paul. Jake Paul watched the Conor McGregor rise, and he was fucking idolizing and whatever, and he basically carbon copied it and threw it into the boxing world. Now he's talking his shit. It is what it is. But some people out there are just super salty. They're MMA fighters too. that are just like, oh my God, I can't believe this. And it's just like, maybe they're upset they're not getting paid like that. Could possibly be it. I don't know, but I don't think I have anything else to say on that. You know, listen, enjoy the ride or just don't watch. I think that's the best way to do it. Chael Sonnen, tell me about Uncle Chael here.
Yeah, so Brendan Schaub actually gave the whole spiel on what happened with the battery citations against Chael Sonnen. He said this is not a case of Chael hitting his wife like John Jones did. And I think he's coming out because John Jones obviously made those comments. Schaub has come to the defense of Chael Sonnen, this after the American gangster was slapped with 5 battery citations in Las Vegas. Sonnen was detained and charged by police with 5 battery citations after he allegedly roughed up 5 men in Sin City. The former UFC fighter Brendan Schaub, after speaking with Chael, has addressed what transpired during the said altercation in his latest episode of Below the Belts podcast. 1 second.
Oh, we got a baby trying to escape a crib. We got a baby. Anyway, I'll do the cliff notes to this.
No. He says, so I think by Chael doing this, it just adds to the legend of Chael Sonnen. He was protecting his girl, and for that dumbass who got absolutely annihilated by the great Chael Sonnen, you deserved it, man, and that's what you get. This is not a case of Chael hitting his wife like John Jones did. I think they dropped the charges. This is not a case of Chael Sonnen being high and wrecking his Bentley with strippers in the car.
Can I just say something really quick before I give my opinion on Chael? Why is Brendan Schaub, like... Okay, he reached out to Chael Sonnen. They had a private phone call. Why is he the guy we got to get this news from? Like, why can't... I mean, Chael's got his own platform. Do you think Brendan asked Chael, hey, listen, do you mind if I talk about it? Like, that's what I feel like he's doing, right?
Yeah.
Like, he's defending Chael, which is cool. But at the same time, I think he's just looking for people to talk about him. Like, aren't you not getting that vibe?
Yeah, no, 1,000%.
He called up Chael to see how he was doing. No, he called up Chael to pull information and fucking talk on his podcast. And now he's defending the guy. Meanwhile, at the end of the day, he's just looking for a fucking story. Like, is anyone else seeing this? Or am I delusional? Am I maybe being too hard on Brendan Schaub?
Well, here's what he said. He said, here's what happened. Chael Sonnen was obviously working, and he was with his wife, and his wife was a fucking saint. Oh, hold on. What is it with these fucking pop-ups and shit like that? His wife is a fucking saint and also a dime piece. So...
And also a dime piece.
Yeah, that's how he.
That's nice.
That's how he goes about Chael Sonnen's wife.
I love Chael Sonnen. I respect him so much. I would fuck the shit out of his wife.
Yeah. And some drunk guy with his girl kept making comments about his wife.
Yeah, why would he say that?
I don't know. I think it's so disrespectful, but whatever.
I'm a comedian. I can say whatever I want. I fuck the shit out of his wife. All right, go ahead.
And some drunk guy with his girl kept making comments about his wife, saying about her tits, her ass, right in front of him. Well, play stupid games, win stupid prizes because you were talking and disrespecting one of the toughest guys on the planet and definitely one of the toughest ever to compete in the UFC or Bellator for that matter. And you're doing it in front of his face. And then there's going to be repercussions. And any guy that wanted to do that for their girl or ladies, you got a girlfriend.
So wait, let me get this straight. So Chael beat up guys for saying shit about his wife's tits. Meanwhile, Brendan Schaub
just called her a dime piece.
Is calling her a dime. Is this guy possibly the dumbest guy on the earth? Like, if Chael kicked the door open to the Below the Belt podcast and just start beating the shit out of Brendan Schaub, it would be amazing. Like, what the fuck is he doing?
Yeah, it's weird to me because calling a girl dime piece is not an insult. It's just the fact that it's your friend's wife. Like, maybe you should have like a little bit of a respectable boundary there because it's your friend's wife.
Listen. I understand his angle. I understand. Like, he's trying to compliment her by saying that she's hot, right? But he just comes across as such a fucking meathead. Like, it's just like everything he says is so dumb. so fucking. And we'll get to what Chael did and what we think about what Chael did in a second. But let's just concentrate on the brilliance of Brendan Schaub and how he breaks the news because he cared so much about Chael Sonnen that he decided to sing like a yenta on his fucking podcast about it.
All right. Well, that's how he ended that. It remains unknown whether...
Oh, shit, hold on a second.
Wonderful.
We got an interruption from Clayton.
Are you guys aware of another YouTube channel called the MMA Guru? He also covers the sport of MMA like you guys do. He was talking about you guys on his live stream the other week. Just curious if you know him?
Nah, send me his channel. I would like to check him out. Thank you, Clayton. Appreciate it.
Good things, I hope.
We gotta check him out. Hope he's
She's really tired.
Okay, you wanna...
I should probably take her.
No, all right. It's all good. Yeah.
She missed a nap today, guys.
Alrighty. Jesse will be back. This kid's gonna pass out real quick. Bye, Ellie. All right, let me make fun of Brendan a little bit more. Anyway, so if you just jumping in, we're talking about the Chael Sonnen situation. And I'm glad, we find out what the story is. It's just like the last person I want to find out from is Brendan Schaub. So he basically says that Chael was in the hallway. He was with his wife. He was working. And I guess another couple was like talking shit about his wife, how, about her tits. And, just saying all fucked up stuff. So what did Chael do? Chael had enough and beat the living shit out of these guys. You can't hate on a guy for that. You really can't hate on Chael Sonnen going out there and defending his wife, beating the shit out of people, right? I mean, listen, I think any normal human being, if you're walking around with your girl and someone starts fucking saying shit about, nasty shit about her, you're going to get pissed off. You're going to do something. Here's the problem. Chael Sonnen is a professional killer. Like, this guy is a pro athlete, and his sport, is to fuck people up. So naturally, if you get beat up by Chael Sonnen, knuckleheads are, they're gonna make a big deal about it, and the guy's probably deserved it for no. I mean, I met Chael, real nice. He's actually a really nice guy. I joke around about his, his voice and stuff like that, but he's actually a really nice guy. To do that and defend your girl, does anyone think that's wrong? I don't think anyone would find that wrong. So it's actually kind of fucking cool. And John Jones trying to kick him while he's down, but John Jones doesn't know the whole story. And here it is, Chael Sonnen defending his wife. And on the other side, you have John Jones beating his fiance. Like, I mean, it's like, come on, Bones. How many times can you stick your fucking foot in your mouth? But, yeah, so it turns out that everything's good. Now, this is only a story from Brendan Schaub. We don't know the true story. This is just what Chael told Brendan. So we're hearing, from Brendan. So God knows. I'm waiting for Chael to get on his YouTube channel and be like, all right, let me tell you what really happened, okay? Like, I'm waiting for that. But let me know what you guys think about Brendan Schaub breaking the news and what you think of the news. I don't blame Chael for standing up for his wife. Okay, Chael is one of my favorite fighters of all time. Yeah, Chael's one of the guys that got me into the sport. For Chael, it's a matter of knowing how much you're willing to spend beating some stranger up. I doubt it was worth it, but could be wrong. Here's the problem. Like I said before, he's a professional fighter. So if you're fucking someone up, and I mean, it doesn't look good. Like, if the other guy didn't throw the first, the other guy threw the first punch, it's game on. But if the other guy just said, hey, your wife's got nice tits, and Chael just fucking launches at him, like, then then it's, then there's legal problems, I guess, right? Women get tit jobs because they don't want attention. Yeah, did she get tit jobs? I don't even know. Ask Brendan Schaub. He thinks she's hot. Jones wishes the guy who Joan wishes the guy who got beat up well. He wished that guy well. John Jones wrong again. I heard they dropped his charges. Yeah, apparently Chael's good to go. I've had Chael over for dinner, and yes, he is a nice guy, also a finicky eater. He should have hurled a ton of insults back. I mean, yeah, you would think, right? You're Chael Sonnen. Like, you are so quick-witted, These guys must have been really saying some fucked up shit. They must have been really saying something really messed up. For Chael to launch himself at him, I would imagine that would be the case. Would you do the same? I have. I actually have, but I'm not as cool as Chael, where I could just beat up like 5 guys in a row. But basically every fight I've gotten into when I was younger, and I used to frequent bars, it was because of a girl. Maybe he just took him down and wrestled the shit. No, I heard he beat the shit out of him. Like, that's apparently that's what happened. Like, he beat the living shit out of the guy. Not like the guy's like on death's door, but he fucked him up good, apparently. Break the wrist and walk away, Master Chael. He would run. Chael has been off social media for a meaningful period of time. There must have been... What is up with that Texas guy, man? That guy is... I kind of like it, man. That guy's got like a hard-on for me. Like, come on, buddy. Come on, tough guy. Fucking tough guy in the chat. No, I meant to talk shit to his wife. Would I talk shit to... Chael's wife? No, why? Why would I even... Like, who the fuck would... I mean, you have to be like completely drunk and... I don't know. Hey, guys, look, I'm going to talk shit to this MMA guy's wife. Hey, idiots, John Jones did not get charged with hitting his wife, dummies. He did hit her. What are you talking about? Like, it was actually in the fucking police report. She just dropped the charges. So is that what you're talking about? Let's see. My first fight was in 6th grade chorus. I punched the guy 3 times in the eye for smacking my girlfriend's butt with a ruler. I think most fights that that guys get into is because of girls. You know? It's kind of fucking stupid. It's kind of dopey. But yeah, it's a lot of that. You know, guys got to fucking puff their chest out, defend the honor of a lady. I got my ass whooped once for defending a girl, just a friend. I got fucking my ass kicked, man, by these 2 fucking guys. But it was my fault, though, because I got out of the car. I was like, where are they? I was a kid. I just started driving. I'm in the gas station with my brother and a friend of mine who's actually like a tough fireman right now, but at the time wasn't very tough. And this girl comes walking down the street, and I see her, and she's all upset, right? So here we are. It's really late. I'm with my brother, my friend, and I'm like, hey, what's going on, so-and-so? And she comes up. She's like, oh, help. You know, these freaking guys are following me home from the bar, and I'm scared. I don't know what to do. I didn't see anybody. I was looking around. I was like, I don't see anybody. So I got out of the car. I was like, where the fuck are they? I get out of the car. I'm like, where are they, man? I had like a ponytail back then and shit, Genko jeans. I'm looking around, chain from my wallet to my fucking, like I'm like a cool metalhead. I'm looking around. My brother's getting out. Like, where are my brother had this fade, but it wasn't quite the fade because we were too cheap to get a haircut. So he was like, it just like stopped and his hair started. And he's looking out. He had that cheesy like mustache that because you can't grow anything else in because you're a child. You just have that mustache. And we're looking around. I'm like, where the fuck are they? All right, it's all right. We'll take you home, right? And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, this car goes, it stops in the middle of the fucking street. 2 guys get out of the fucking car, right? Now there's 2 guys and 3 kids, right? These are grown men. And then there's 3 kids, you know, trying to act like tough guys. So now you can't back down. You can't fucking back down. And I'm looking, I'm like, okay. And they're like, what? You got a problem? You got a problem? And they start walking towards us. And I'm like, yo, what are you doing with this girl? Blah, blah. We're going back and forth. We're yelling at each other. And then it gets separated, right? I'll never forget this. It gets separated. Nothing happened, right? It gets separated. And as we're going away, the guy turns around and is like, you're a bunch of pussies, right? I go fuck yourself. If you're a young man and you know the situation's been diffused, someone tells you to go fuck yourself, say, okay, have a nice night. That's the right thing to do. But this dopehead was like, go fuck yourself. And that's when it was on. They fucking come over. They both jump on me and start beating the fuck out of me, right? They're ripping my shirt off. I'm like, ah! My brother's like, stop! Fucking guy slaps my brother in the face. My buddy runs into the fucking, into the gas station. He's calling the police. Not even helping us. He's calling the cops. And I'm getting my shit pushed in. Finally, these guys are done with me. And then they go to my car. They slash my freaking tire. So now I have a car with a slashed tire. A girl that just saw me get the shit kicked out of me. My buddy's inside calling the cops. My shirt's off. So I was like a young Chael Sonnen, only it went the reverse, you know, the reverse situation. That was my story back in the day. Thank you. Thank you. Merry Christmas.
Wonderful, wonderful.
It was over 20 years ago.
I wish I was cool and I got bitches that I could get into fights over.
It's not worth it, bro. It's not worth it. It was right when we started driving, too. So how old was I? I was like, what, 17 or 18, somewhere around there. Yeah, then the girl fucked the other guys. Nah, she went home with us. But then I was like, fuck, why we even... I was just like... I remember going home, and my shirt's all ripped off. And my dad's looking at me. He's like, we gotta go find these guys. We gotta call the police. I'm like, nah, I was embarrassed. I was like, wait a minute, call the police. Oh, they fucked me up. I was an idiot. And I got out. I told him to go fuck himself. I don't know. It seemed like a good idea at the time. Anyway, back to Brendan Schaub. And listen, you defended your wife. You know, hopefully it doesn't, you know, it seems like everything got dropped. So that's great news. But yeah, when you're a fighter, you know, chances are if someone's running their mouth, you just say, hey, fuck off, you know. And if they throw the first punch, then it's on. But if you throw the first punch, that could be a problem. You know, that could be a problem. But Chael gets off. And Brendan Schaub gets to break the news. Very nice, Brendan. Thank you.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Came back with a pipe. We did come back to the area, and then I had like friends and shit like that, like down the road. Like we were just like, oh, we gotta find these guys, but hopefully we never found them, and thank God, because we probably get our asses kicked again. Yeah, but that's my fun story from many moons ago. A fun story. Let's see what else you got in the news here. So we talked a little Chael. We spoke about a little Jake Paul. And how about this? Belal Muhammad. By the way, we'll have Kaleb Harris on in about 12 minutes. We'll bring Kaleb on from Bare Knuckle FC. Belal Muhammad moves up in the rankings to the number 5 spot. Look at this. Wow-a-wee-wah. Belal just charging up the rankings now. So he has Luke ahead of him, Leon Edwards, Gilbert Burns, and Colby Covington, and of course the champ, Kamaru Usman. But how about them apples, huh? Just blows past everybody. Goes up 5 freaking spots. He says he's willing to fight a guy like Jorge Masvidal. Even though he's one below him, he doesn't mind that. But other than that, he wants a legit guy. Like he's ready to go. So what do you think about Belal jumping in and cracking into the top 5? I mean, listen, you dominate Stephen Thompson like that. Not too shabby. Colby, I mean, there's really not much room for wiggle room. He has to take someone below him, right? Gilbert Burns coming off the Wonderboy win, you got to think that he's got to maybe fight Colby. Do you rematch Leon? Looking for a dance partner for Leon. There's that eye poke situation. Is that what's going to happen here? Vicente Luque? Well, they're managed by the same guy, so I don't know if that's going to happen. So who would be next for Masvidal? I mean, not Masvidal, excuse me, Belal, but maybe it is Masvidal. Maybe it is. Jorge says he wants to take someone that's closer to a title shot. That might be the fight to make. So what do you think in the chat? What would be your matchmaking move? The only thing that kind of makes sense to me is you might have to run it back with Leon. You might have to. I think Leon really doesn't have much of a choice. Leon knows he could beat him. I mean, he was pretty much doing pretty well in the first fight, so curious what you guys think. Let's jump into the chat. Belal Muhammad, his situation. Need to know what the peoples think. I see Colby versus Masvidal tough, says AM in the chat. That has been spoken about. Colby, Masvidal, that sounds like fun. Former friends going at it. It's Leon, Dustin versus Nate at welterweight. Chandler versus Jorge. Jorge Masvidal needs to win some matches before anything. But he's Street Jesus.
Chat.
He's Street Jesus. Weston.
You got me into MMA this year. Lick the carnage.
Hey, let's go, baby. Lick the carnage.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Thank you. Appreciate that. And that's what I love about this community, man. It's filled with hardcores and casuals, men and women, tall people, short people, white, black, yellow, green people, all people from all over the world here on the MMA-Holes. And that's pretty cool, man. I'm your biggest fan. I'll be rooting you on. Or into MMA as in competing or watching MMA? Explain yourself. I think Jorge will go after Paul fight. He can't. He's under contract. So that's not it. Yay, tall people, says Kendall. Colby Covington versus Khamzat Chimaev. You know what we should do? How much time we have here? We have, actually, let me try to squeeze this in. I didn't get a chance to play this yet. Maybe I can. Let's see if I can pull this interview. So Kendall and the Glove Touch were at BYB and they interviewed, since we're having Kaleb Harris come on from Bare Knuckle, let's see if we can get this interview here. All right. So I'm going to play something here, an exclusive, well, from the Glove Touch's channel. I'm going to give it a like. Mike Velasquez from BYB, Kendall Volker, and the Glove Touch had a chance to do an interview there. And this will take us right to Kaleb Harris. So let's go.
Hi, it's Kendall Volker here on behalf of the Glove Touch.
Oh, hold on, Kendall. Kendall, wait a second.
Wonderful, wonderful.
We got Uncle Mike H.
Oh my fucking god, guess what?
What?
I just realized we are even closer to hearing Buffer yell out, and new middleweight world champion of the world by TKO by soccer kick to the fucking face, Robert the Reaper Whittaker.
Whoa!
Smile.
That's from Clayton, by the way. Clayton, thank you very much. Robert Whittaker. We are getting closer. Well, is that official?
Wonderful, wonderful.
Is that official? That was Clayton over there. Thank you, Clayton.
Merry Christmas, Moss and MMA-Holes, your OWW. Fist, 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 fist. Right pointing finger, fist,
Yeah, baby.
fist, fist.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate those donations. A Merry Christmas to you as well.
And the MMA-Holes YouTube channel. I'm here with Mike Vasquez, the owner of BYB. Mike, what does BYB stand for?
Well, it stands for Backyard Brawls, the original roots of where we got our start from with Dada 5000 in the backyard.
Oh, wow. So it's a bare knuckle boxing organization. When did you first get started?
We started in actually planning in 2014. We had our first event in 2015. Our first event, actually, when we started, it wasn't going to be bare knuckle boxing. It was more like stand-up MMA, bare knuckle, 8 limbs, which is what we did in the backyard. And our first event, which is on our YouTube channel called Battleship, that was basically bare knuckle MMA. You
said 8 limbs. That sounds like Muay Thai.
Well, it's a little bit, but it's basically what we allowed was it was all stand-up fighting. We did allow submission holds, standing up. We did allow a little action to go down to the ground, but if it became grappling, we stood them right up because the whole purpose behind BYB was to give fans what they wanted, which was the action, the confrontation, the fighters going toe-to-toe against each other. And although I used to wrestle, and I know people who love jiu-jitsu and whatnot.
I love jiu-jitsu.
Absolutely, but a small percentage of the mainstream audience likes it. So a lot of the times when fighters go to the ground, at other, MMA competitions, some of the audience is into it. The rest of them are waiting for the, what happens when the referee finally stands them up? The audience goes crazy. They're like, yeah, because they're back to toe-to-toe, and there's that confrontation, that striking aspect, which is what I feel most people enjoy.
So, bare knuckle has not been a sanctioned sport in quite some time. Did you have to alter your promotion to be a certified combat sport and be sanctioned by the commission?
Well, we did. In Florida, for example, we had to change the rules to limit it to boxing. In Wyoming, they do allow bare knuckle MMA, so we can go back there to do the full gamut. But we did modify our rules a little bit, as well as originally we had the triangle cage when we were doing the stand-up MMA. Once we started our boxing, we incorporated the triangle ring, the trigon.
It's right behind us here, as you can see, this beautiful equilateral triangle.
3 equal sides designed really, it's all part of our logo, part of everything. It's to identify us, right? If you see the triangle ring, the trigon, it should bring your mind to BYB. And that's the design aspect of it. Now, functionally, what happens is because nobody wants to get tied up in tighter corners, there's 360-degree corners, the action runs to the center of the ring. So it's more confrontational. And what we like to say is we want the results to be settled by the hands of the fighters and not the judges. So that's kind of the whole concept is really.
That's powerful. Leave it all in the ring right there.
Yeah.
Wow. So
you can't trust the judges for your decision. If you're going to train, you're going to fight, you want a result, you're going to have to settle it, yourself.
But you were the first organization to create a triangular ring or triangular cage, right?
Yeah.
I got to say this. I love the fact how she leads him into the question of the lawsuit with Triller. Love it, Kendall. Fantastic job here. Check this out.
Yes, we not only did we create it, we drew it out. Dot and I, the first night we met, we spent 3 or 4 hours together. We drew out our logo. We drew out the ring. We made all the footprint for it, not only the rope ring, but the cage as well. We, of course, we patented our ring design. We have patents and trademarks on the ring design itself.
Now, as you know, a regular triangle has 3 equal sides, and each angle is 60 degrees. Mm-hmm. So in order to patent your design, what is the length of the sides?
Well, and really in the patent, what it deals with is the design of the triangle ring, right? Like, so there's been discussions that we claim we own the triangle. No, we don't own the triangle. We've designed a triangle combat surface, right? Whether it's in a ring, whether it's in a cage, that it identifies with our promotions, part of our logo, part of our whole, culture that we had. We actually were fighting in a triangle with Dada in the backyard before we created BYB. So we started tinkering with it in the backyard way before even 2014.
Wow, so this goes way back. How far back does this go?
Back when Dada was in the backyard, he started with Kimbo Slice when he actually worked with the Kimbo.
Hold on. Who is Dada 5000?
Dada 5000, known, I guess, legal name, Kaleb Harris. For those who don't know him, he's a great gentleman. He's a world-class individual. He started in the backyard. He started working with Kimbo as Kimbo's security when Kimbo was coming up. And then Dada started getting involved in the fights as well and getting into the backyard. Started working as a promoter in the world-famous Greenhouse, which, if you've seen the movie Dogfight by Billy Corben.
I didn't grow up in the United States, so I have not seen a lot of movies. I'm sorry.
If you can, look up Dogfight, DAWG Fight, and it goes over the history of the backyard. Dada as a promoter in the backyard, and it's the roots of what BYB, how BYB started. They're going to be releasing actually Dogfight Round 2, which picks up where the first movie ended off, which was Dada winning, and they asked him, what do you want to do next? And he says, I want to fight Kimbo. So then it picks up with Dada when we arranged for the Bellator fight of Dada, who fought Kimbo in February of 2016. It covers that event and, of course, the aftermath of the event and our getting BYB started. And that's going to be coming out in spring of next year.
So when did you file the lawsuit against Triller or Lights Out Promotions?
Lights Out Promotions, yeah,
Let's go, Kendall.
Well, we first became aware of somebody trying to use the triangle design probably at the end of October when a little blurb came out in the media. So we actually reached out to the promotion and said, hey, we should talk. We have a patent on this if you guys want to use it. There was actually some conversations before even that happened, but they dismissed our request to speak about it and decided to continue on with the event. So once the event was officially scheduled and, all the legalities, the way things have to be filed, so the attorneys take care of all that. But yeah, once the event was scheduled and announced, then the lawsuit was filed just prior to their event towards the end of November.
I have a legal background, and I'm super salty that it hasn't gotten more attention, and you are the first. And I saw their recent event where Frank Mir went up against Pulov.
Sure.
And I was very disappointed at the information they were giving out. You are the first, you are the finest, you are the best, and it doesn't matter who comes after, you're the first, period.
I appreciate that, and it was funny because a lot of people within their promotion, including Rampage, mentioned in discussing in one of their official press conferences, he called their ring the Trigon, which is, of course, everybody recognizes the ring as the Trigon. Even he knows the ring as the Trigon.
This is the Trigon right here. There is no duplication.
So absolutely, no, we're proud of what we're doing, and yes, we're a smaller company, obviously, but we're not going to let anybody come in and roll over on us. That's for sure. And we're fighters.
Who are a few of your favorite fighters?
Oh, wow. In our series here in BYB, I mean, we got great characters. We got, of course, Rene Whiteboy, who's an original from the backyard.
Yeah, he's an original. He goes way back. I met Rene Rodriguez, the white boy. He doesn't like to be called by anything but the white boy, right?
Yeah, white boy, or Hialeah Champ. He goes by Hialeah Champ also. So he was an original fighter from the backyard, and he made his way up through the ranks in BYB. Jomi Escoboza, our 185 champ. He was also original from the backyard and fought in our first BYB, the Battleship, the 8 limbs one. He had a great fight on that card.
He's the Archangel, right?
He's the Archangel, yeah. And of course, on the girls' side, what can we say about Patty Juarez, our champ? 135, incredible. Christine Stanley. I mean, guys like Carlos Guerra. He's one of my favorite up-and-comers. I think he's at 145, fighting at 145, but he's Mexican, tight, nice, tight formation, straight, stiff punches. I really like his style. We got just a lot of characters, good fighters. Isaiah Quinones, who had the big knockout in BYB 6, I think it was. It went around the world. It was on all the major sports highlights and whatnot. We enjoyed seeing him then, getting a little bit of attention that way, and he's here with us tonight, so we're excited. We have a good crew of young guys. We have guys, of course, like Desmond Green from the U.S., formerly from the UFC. So excited. Some guys from Brazil, and of course we have on this card 2 guys from BKB.
BKB is the UK promotion, and you're doing a cross promotion with them now?
Our counterparts on the UK, we've begun working together, as we should. I mean, we're trying to build the sport. Promoters that are in the industry should be working together to grow the sport. It's not necessary to take all the oxygen out of the room, so we are working with BKB. They've sent 2 fighters to this card. We're sending 2 fighters for their card in January, and we'll probably continue that throughout the year, bringing fighters back and forth and just growing the audiences.
That's beautiful. The international community is supporting you.
Yep.
The Glove Touch is supporting you. You have the MMA-Holes behind you, and myself, Kendall Volker.
Thank you very much,
Mike
Honor.
Esquez, thank you so much for your time and your words. We appreciate
Thank you.
All right. Okay, there's Kendall. You would never know. She's green in the game, but she's getting good at these interviews over there. There's Kendall asking the hard-hitting questions over there. BYB, with the situation with their ring, the triangular shaped ring, and how Triller has taken it and made it into the, I don't know, one's the triad, one's the trigon. It's like kind of messed up. Triller's also doing a fight between, who is the guy? Usyk? What's the guy that just beat the shit out of Frank Mir? Like a legit boxing guy. Something Usyk. I think he's Bulgarian or something. I don't know, or Serbian. I don't know what the hell. He's just a scary son of a bitch. He's fighting Junior Dos Santos. That's going down. So another MMA guy is just going to get slaughtered on Triller inside their triangle. So, I mean, there's a whole bunch of crazy shit going on with Triller. I'm interested to see how this plays out. Pulev. Thank you, Pulev. Thank you very much. Kubra Pulev. That's his name. I couldn't remember the fucking guy's name.
I got all my interviews up on Instagram. But Kendall had the best one. She was doing notes for hours before we left. She really took the shit seriously. And she set up all the other interviews that I did. She's really fucking good to work with.
There you go. Thank you, Glove Touch. Go check out the Glove Touch's Instagram so you can check out the rest of those interviews. Then, fantastic job by them. Very nice job over there. Can't wait to see what's next in the future. Hit the fucking like button, people. Only 89 likes. Unacceptable. We're going to have Kaleb Harris on. Just want to give a quick shout out to our sponsors, Mystic Roots, CBD.com. 20% off promo code MMA-HOLES for Mystic Roots, CBD.com. We got Head Rush, baby. Yeah, Head Rush. Premium clothing, badass clothing. Head Rush is where it's at. These people over here at Head Rush support the MMA-Holes. They support the MMA community. Some of the biggest names in MMA have walked out in Head Rush gear, and now you can as well. Check it out. Links are in the description. The promo code MMA-HOLES for 20% off of Head Rush. If you're looking to watch the UFC, it's on ESPN Plus. We have that link in the description. There is no promo code. Just click the link. That's it. You click our link, you get the deals, you help out the MMA-Holes. Become wonderful, wonderful. A shout out to Poly Market. That's right, Poly Market is a trading platform. And let me tell you something, friends. If you use our referral code, MMA-HOLES, you get up to $100 reimbursed on your first day of trading. It's a trading platform over here. You can bet on sports, politics, just pretty much anything on Poly Market. It's a lot of fun. Check it out for yourself. Also, if you want to do traditional betting, mybookie.ag for a 100% match on your first deposit. Use promo code MMA-HOLES. All right, ladies and germs, now it's time to get our friend Kaleb Lionheart Harris on the show. We need to catch up. It's been a minute. Happy holidays to those of you that are jumping in right now. Merry Christmas, Kwanzaa. I don't know what the hell, whatever you're with and down with, happy that. All right, let's get Kaleb on the horn over here. There we go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, back on the show is a gentleman that has been here multiple times, a gentleman that is now headlining a BKFC card, the man, the myth, the legend, Kaleb Lionheart Harris. Let's go, baby. Woohoo!
What's up, guys?
Wonderful, wonderful.
Kaleb, how you doing, bud? If you can turn your phone to the side, that would be amazing if you could. Here we go. Here we go. We got get him to fill the box. If not, it's no big deal. We could always keep it like that. I'll squish you in.
Man, you know me. I'm trying to figure out how to work this thing.
That's okay. By the way, I like that beard that's growing in. It's growing in nice and thick for the holidays, for fighting. What do we got here? A new look?
Man, I haven't been clean shaven since I was like 17. It's just finally actually, reached adulthood, I guess.
Very nice.
It only took me getting to 28, but I'm working on it.
Looking good. And I got to say this. I was so excited when I found out that you are headlining this card coming up for BKFC. I was very pumped up. But the story that everyone's talking about here is Julian Lane, who is supposed to be your opponent, attacks Mike Perry, and now he's not fighting you. Can you explain what's going on with this guy?
Man, I don't know what's going on with the guy in his head, but the simplest explanation is he wanted to fight for free instead of get paid for it. You literally had the contract signed, the fight set. You just had to train and wait, and you could have got paid to fight. Instead, you decided to go fishing for a bigger fish, and, all it did was got you suspended for 60 days, which, it is what it is. I guess I should really be thanking him because it just got everything out of the way, so we ain't got to worry about this tournament anymore. Me and Elva can finish what we started, and I can bring that gold home to Jackson, Mississippi as the 165 bare knuckle champion.
There we go, baby. I'm pumped up. I love it. Here's the post over here. Brito versus Harris 2, a redemption fight. BKFC. This is January 29th going down here. And so the tournament now, you're saying that's scrapped, right?
Yes, it's no longer. David Feldman announced it about a week ago. I signed my contract yesterday. Hang on a second. I'm not sure what's going on. Apparently, I'm being called.
How dare they? Jesus, this is unacceptable behavior. You must immediately ban them from your phone.
I get freaked out about stuff like that because I don't use Skype but to talk to you guys.
Oh, they're calling on Skype?
Yeah, they were trying to Skype call me. I don't know. It's weird. But yes, no longer a tournament. David Feldman announced, and like I said, I signed my contract. This will be for the 165-pound BKFC championship belt, the first in history. And I made this Jackson card happen. This is not, hey, we're going to do a fight in Jackson. Do you want to fight? It was me messaging David Feldman and saying, look, whatever I got to do, you tell me. I'll get the venue. I'll figure it out. You put me as co-main or main event fighting Elvin in Jackson, Mississippi, where I live, I will sell out. And first it was the Julian Lane, but it was no big deal. We were the main event. It was a title eliminator. And I'm very happy to say that in 2 weeks of tickets going on sale, my folks from around Jackson have helped me to sell over $13,000 worth of tickets.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, so when I tell you that I bring a crowd with me in Jackson, Mississippi, I bring a crowd. That's all there. I've got other people right now fighting for asking me, can I get another table? And I'm like, I have to call them, make sure that I have enough people wanting a table. But it's been an exciting adventure so far. And I'm excited to right a wrong that the judges gave the last time me and Brito fought.
That's right. It went to a decision, and here's the opportunity to change the outcome, to change your fate and your path, and now gold is on the line. This is unbelievable. So this tournament that they were supposed to do, so basically when you were fighting Julian Lane, this was just going towards this tournament, and now because the knucklehead did this with Mike Perry, you're fighting for a belt. This is like the best possible scenario that could ever happen.
That's right. It's destiny, man, because the last time me and Elvin fought was up in Oxford, Mississippi. That very night, I met my now fiance. I met her that night. We talked for a little bit. Through a mutual friend that we had, she got my number, and we started talking. And now I'm going to fight for the title against a guy that I fought on the same night I met her, and we're getting married this year. I mean, it's just destiny for me. I'm going to have that belt, and I've done told all my crew and her, and she's perfectly okay with it. I'm going to wear that belt walking down the aisle.
There you go. Wow, this is amazing, man. What a story. I mean, when we met you, you were focusing on the path. You were focusing on the fight game here. It seemed like a lady wasn't even on your radar. And then she comes in here, swoops your heart up, and you've looked great ever since. Ever since you guys got together, it's like you've been on this upward trajectory? Has she been like the like, for instance, Iron Man's got that little thing in his chest. Is she that thing to you?
Oh, 100%. 100%. I've always trained, and I've had girlfriends and whatnot during fights. And your home life can make or break a fighter.
Sure.
And it's night and day from going from somebody that was just constantly mad because I'm busy training, I'm chasing dreams. And remember, I'm like 18, 19 at this time, so I'm at the age I'm supposed to be. And to now, I come home and she's either got dinner ready for me or has food ready. She trains with me. She understands the dreams that I'm chasing, and she's behind me 100%. There's a reason I decided to go ahead and put a ring on it.
Hey, smart man, right? When you find that one, a man used to say that was in our community before, and it's the reason why me and Jesse actually kind of got together. They say you only find one unicorn in your life, and you can't let that unicorn go. You have to swipe that unicorn up, put him in a cage, and make sure that unicorn never leaves again. Because some people find the unicorn, they screw it up, they move on, they never find another unicorn. Is she your unicorn?
Right.
Is that what you're saying?
100%. She's my unicorn, man.
There you go. This is exciting, man. Hey, I'm pumped up, man. I'm pumped up for both of you guys. I'm happy for you. And it seems like you got a great thing going here. She backs you. She supports you. And now here you are fighting for a fucking belt. Are you guys living together now?
Yes. We moved in. She moved in with me right after her last year of school in college was over with. And we've been living together for about 5 or 6 months now. And we're hoping to buy us a house in the next year. And with the things that I can't announce 100% yet, but the things and the stuff that's coming my way with BKFC is it's going to put us in a great position after we get married.
This is great, man. I love the confidence, too. It's so wild, man. I feel like I've been on this roller coaster ride. In the beginning, we kind of just stumbled on you guys fighting. And, just to watch you from the beginning come and getting to this point fighting for a belt, it kind of gives me chills, man. This is weird, man. I don't know how, and you got this swag now, man. The way you're walking out to that cage, the way you're fighting these guys, laughing and smiling and just having a grand old time. What's the difference between Kaleb back then to when we first ran into you to the Kaleb now fighting for a championship?
My desire to prove everybody that I'm the best that there is at this sport. It's not going to be because I have a perfect record, but it's going to be that I evolve constantly with this sport. From, like you said, from day one. I mean, our relationship basically started on the MMA-Holes because of my bare knuckle fight. And from that point, after every fight, whether I won or lost, I took something away from it. I got better. You know, in the beginning, it was just my pure heart and determination. Now it's precision striking, head movement, footwork, learning to read my opponents. And I've just grown and matured in the sport. And, you know, I mean, I love seeing people tell me how crazy and dangerous this is, because I just think to myself, like, yeah, well, that's why I'm doing it and you're not.
Absolutely. And there's a lot of things now. You have this highlight that no matter what, you could never do another thing in your life, but you could always say, hey, that was me knocking that man out there. And it's going to be like solidified in stone in bare knuckle history. And then if you get this belt as well, which you will, Kaleb, we have full faith in you. We're going to be riding hard with Kaleb Harris on this one. But when you do become champ as well, I mean, the sky's the limit. Are you looking to say, hey, I am going to stick with this bare knuckle? This is my path here. Or are you open down the road to say, hey, let's see what's next?
Man, I'm always looking for the next way to test myself. I tell people all the time now, I grew up a soft kid. I was a spoiled brat, got everything I wanted. I mean, I got into martial arts originally to be a Power Ranger. And then as I got older, this was how I became a man. This was how I learned to take responsibility for my own failures and whatnot. And so I began to test myself with martial arts. I'd compete. I'd do boxing. I'd do kickboxing, MMA. Second bare knuckle came out, I said, sign me up. And so, yeah, you know, as of right now, my eyes are only on the bare knuckle championship belt. And once I get that, it's like I said in another interview, David Feldman's going to get sick and tired of trying to find guys to line up to take that belt from me, because once it's on my waist, it's not coming off.
And I can't wait, man. I can't wait to watch this fight. I'm really pumped up. We got a donation coming in over here from Tropic Tom. Let's see what Tropic Tom has to say.
That Skype call was a robocall selling male enhancement products. Don't do it. Look what happened to John Jones.
Okay. That got straightened out. What do you think about that, Caleb?
Well, I'm glad that I didn't answer the phone call now.
Oh, man. We're live with Kaleb Harris, Lionheart 2193, fighting for a massive title. This is very excited over here. It's happening on January 29th. Bare Knuckle FC main event action. Jackson is where it's going down, and I am looking very much forward to this. Make sure you get your tickets, bareknucklefc.com. And this is going to be on the BKFC app as well, right?
Yes. If you're subscribed to the BKFC app, then you should be able to watch it perfectly fine.
There we go. So what do you think about this stuff going on? Like, you see Jake Paul, I'm sure you I mean, unless you live under a rock.
I was watching the show earlier.
Like, what do you think about this with Jake Paul and like how he knocked out Tyron Woodley? You know, a lot of people are saying, hey, that was fixed, that was faked. You knocked out a man in similar fashion. Like, I mean, I'm going to put this back up again. I mean, looking at this knockout, it's very fucking similar. Although, let's be honest, you look way cooler doing it. But maybe I'm biased, I don't know. But, like, when you see a knockout with Jake Paul, do you think, hey, is that fixed? Is this fake? Like, what's your take on that?
So, first of all, if anybody in the community wants to stitch those two videos, his and mine, together and send it to him and tell him that mine's better, I'm all for that. But as far as thinking that fight was, I mean, let's be honest here. All sports have some type of something going on. Boxing was notorious for it. But do I think that Jake Paul is fixing fights? In the beginning, I would have probably said maybe. I wouldn't have disbelieved it. But now, honestly, I think we're looking at, I said it after he fought Tyron Woodley, that if he beat Tyron Woodley, then I would accept that he is a boxer. I'm not going to put him up there with like the greats just yet, but he's a boxer. What does he do? He wins a split decision. And then, I mean, I'm not saying there's not good actors in the world, but the way Tyron Woodley went down, it's really hard to fake that in the middle of like an actual fight. Like, if you're a fighter, you can almost tell like when somebody's just kind of giving up. And I mean, I think that Jake Paul caught Tyrone slipping. And when he did, he capitalized on it, and the rest was history. You know, I mean, Tyron Woodley's been a good sport about it, it seems. And I mean, at this point, Jake has never said that he's willing to go to MMA. He knows, like you said, he knows you put a boxer against an MMA guy in a real fight, 99% of the time the MMA guy is going to win, because if he can't win standing, he's got the ground. But they're not trying to get, Jake's not trying to get into MMA. He's boxing. And I mean, yeah, I'm not going to tell you that if he somehow decided, you know what, I want to fight Kaleb Harris, I'd agree to whatever weight that we could come to. And I mean, if he wanted to pay me $1 million plus 30% pay-per-views to fight him, sure, I'll take that fight in a heartbeat.
You guys,
I mean,
you got to be salivating, right? If you think about it. Now, I mean, the sky's the limit these days, because what Jake Paul is doing, I mean, I understand why people don't like it. I get it, because some people think it's kind of shitting on, you know, the sport of martial arts and, you know, mixed martial arts. And, you know, the boxing world is kind of getting clowned right now with this whole situation. But still, fighters are making more money. So I think if fighters are making more money, have at it, right? Now, I mean, guys like you, becoming a championship champion in BKFC. I mean, the possibilities are endless. David Feldman, is he looking to lock you up for like a long-term deal, or is he kind of doing one-offs with you here and there? How's it working?
So far it has been my last couple of fights have simply been one fight contracts, because I made it clear after I saw some things happen for some other fighters that I can't really talk about. You know, I didn't want to be locked into anybody for any long period of time.
Sure.
They've made interest in trying to get me to sign again, this, that, and the other. But so far, BKFC, I mean, I know a lot of other people have issues, and yeah, they may have messed up just like anybody else young in the promotion, but they're taking care of me. And I mean, I haven't had a chance to really say that in a minute, but BKFC takes care of the ones that don't demand to. I mean, I took my time. I worked my way up the ladder, and now I'm making good money. And, you know, there's a possibility of maybe me sticking around for quite a while, because like I said, once that belt's around my waist, Dave Feldman's going to have to wait for me to retire before he gets a new champ.
There you go. Hey, I like that talk here now. So you're looking to win this belt, defend this belt to anyone that comes to step up to you. And what weight class is this? You said 165?
This is the 165. We've already got people from BKB over in the UK talking about coming. There's a guy, Connor Tierney, that supposedly is fighting on the same card that is called with me, that has respectfully, I would say, called me out a couple of times. So we'll get to see what he's like. You know, we got Joe Elmore, we've got Elvin, we've got a couple of others in our division. It's not a vast weight division right now, but the quality of fighters, I believe, is a lot higher than in other divisions where it's a lot more saturated.
That's interesting. So BKB, I'm not too familiar with them, but I found out through BYB that, you know, it seems like they like to shuttle fighters back and forth. I guess you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours type deal. So I would imagine the bare knuckle world is having this community of fighters now circulating around between the scenes, and that's actually a good thing, right? I mean, especially for the fighters, you know, guys get chances.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. So
I think BKFC just announced that they're moving. Their fights are taking over in like Russia and Thailand. I think they had their first one not too long ago. I'm waiting to see how this is going to be, because right now it seems great. All the promotions seem to kind of be sharing, but eventually somebody's going to take a bigger bite. And so I'm just waiting to see what that's going to turn into later on.
So when you win this 165-pound belt, it's not going to be the Kevin Lee division. It's going to be the Kaleb Harrison division, right? Because Kevin Lee over there at
That's
Eagle
right.
FC, I see in the chat, someone's bringing that up over there. He's saying that he's going to be the first ever. I know MMA, but still, 165 will be your weight class throughout MMA and boxing, correct?
That is correct. I'm glad Khabib's promotion and Kevin Lee is putting a lot of highlight on this 165-pound. I have people all the time ask me, when you coming back to MMA? When you coming back to MMA? And I'm just like, right now, I'm like, my focus is on bare knuckle. But yeah, you know, I get the BKFC belt. I don't have plans as of right now. I mean, things could change, but I don't care to be a 2-weight division champ. You know, I don't care for any, I care about owning my division. You got some rare cases where like Amanda Nunes could run 2 divisions back and forth for a little bit, but I'm not trying to focus on 2 different weight styles and 2 different weight cuts, because my body reacts differently to the weight.
Sure.
So I'm going to hang on to that BKFC belt, and I'm going to defend it as many times as I want. And then at some point, if I get to an end of a contract with BKFC and decide I want to take my chances at MMA again, then by that point in time, I'll have such a big following that I'll be getting talks with like Eagle FC and getting paid real money to fight MMA again.
Yeah, that's pretty wild, man. That would be some story. What do you think about what Jorge Masvidal's doing with the bare knuckle MMA league that he's got going on?
I like it. I mean, I've made mention to one of his good matchmakers, Dean Toole, several times before recent events happened, that I would like to get on and give, it'd be fun. My problem is right now is my weight. I don't want to go back to 55. It's too hard of a cut on my body at this point. I've gotten comfortable walking around, but I'm not big enough to fight at 170. Not in MMA, because you got guys that are cutting from like 195 down to 170, and I'm over here walking around at like 83 after I've ate 2 burgers from McDonald's. So that would be my only issue fighting for an MMA promotion right now. And but my buddy Josh Weems went on a highlight reel after he won a split decision victory in I want to say it was the first Game Bred FC. He ends up running out, hitting the dude with a flying knee and spinning back fist that drops him. It was a tough dude. It was a very close fight, but he put on a really good show, and I really enjoyed it.
This is interesting. The weight cut thing is it's a conversation that it seems like it keeps coming up, and it makes sense because a friend of ours, Chris Curtis, who just got into the UFC.
That's right.
Yo,
he finally got it. They finally realized what they had.
Yeah, right? Isn't it about time? And he's fighting at middleweight. This is nuts. He looks great at middleweight. He barely has to cut any weight, and he's knocking fools out and just doing his thing. So it goes to show you there actually is some real benefits to fighting closer to a healthier weight rather than just draining yourself, right, just to get that edge.
For sure.
So I mean, hopefully, more fighters start following in the footsteps, less people are falling off scales, getting sick. It's kind of crazy, man. What do you think about KHAMZAT Chimaev in the UFC? We haven't got a chance to talk to you about him. That lunatic coming in there.
I don't guess I'm familiar. Was that the guy that missed weight for heavyweight?
No, KHAMZAT Chimaev is the guy. He's been smoking. He's like the knockoff Habib, but he's fighting at welterweight. He also smoked a guy at middleweight. He's this guy with a cleft lip, and he looks like a bat. And he's
okay. I'm bad with names. I was trying to think about who you were talking about, but I don't guess I just knew his name.
That's great. That's pretty badass that you were like, fuck that guy. That's how you know you're big time. That's how you know.
No, nothing like that, man. It's just I spend so much time trying to run 2 different businesses and training and everything that honestly, if it ain't no Hulu or it's not like a Dustin Poirier, Charles Oliveira type fight card, I'm probably not watching it at this point. I do this 18, 19 hours out of the day. When the few hours that I get to be at home, I'm probably either playing Pokemon or Apex, or I'm watching TV with Morgan. I mean, that's my chill zone.
That's awesome. We're live with Kaleb Harris. He's fighting for a massive title fight. This is amazing stuff here. He was fighting Julian Lane, and now he is fighting Mr. Brito. That's happening. The second of the fights going down January 29th. And this is going to be a banger here. Looking very much forward to this. Kaleb, did you hear the story about Chael Sonnen? You said you were watching a little bit earlier. Did you hear the story about Chael Sonnen?
I did.
Could you imagine now, you're in the hallway, you're with, and Morgan's her name, correct? Your fiance?
Yes.
Okay. You're with Morgan, you're in the hallway, and some knucklehead starts mouthing off about Morgan. What would you do? Would you be like, okay, bro, pump the brakes, get the hell out of here? Or would you start slugging on these guys? How would you handle this situation?
Well, first, I'm probably going to have to hold her back because she's about $115, but hits like a heavyweight. But if it was in the situation, what would I do? The first thing, I'm going to check them and let them know, hey, that's not cool. We're going to have a problem if it's not. And if it proceeds to happen again, your boy's catching a murder charge. That's all it's going to be.
Oh, here we go, Jess.
I don't play that game. I don't. You can now, if you whistle when I walk by with my girl, I'm just gonna turn around and look at you and be like, "That's damn right," and that's mine. But if you start just being ignorant, talking about her tits and her ass and this, that, and the other, and I tell you, whoa, chill out, and you don't chill, then yeah, I'm probably gonna put hands. I mean, I got nothing wrong with what Chael Sonnen did, if that's the story.
There you go. Hey, we're live with Kaleb Harris. We got a donation coming in real quick. We got Jesse in the picture. Kaleb Harris is fighting for a title, Jess.
Yes.
This is very exciting stuff. Let's get to this donation. Oh shit.
Gonna smash.
There he is.
Gonna smash.
That's HELWANI Shemaev.
Beat everybody.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna finish everybody. I'm gonna finish everybody.
Oh my god, it's a choo-choo train.
I'm gonna finish everybody. I'm gonna finish everybody. I'm gonna finish everybody. I'm gonna smash everybody.
He's a choo-choo train. What does he got to say, pal?
This dude. And props for playing Pokemon.
Oh, there we go. That's HELWANI Shemaev.
Also,
yeah,
okay. I guess I've just never heard his name pronounced before. I've been calling him KHAMZAT because I didn't know any other way, and I know that sounds so ignorant. And I promise, it was not intentional, but I just had never heard his name said before, so I just didn't recognize it.
There you go. Well, he's going to be a household name very soon, the way this guy's going.
Oh, yeah.
He's scary. He's a scary man. Is Morgan with you now?
I think she's asleep.
Oh, I was going to say. I wanted to drag her on.
She goes to bed at like 8 o'clock if she can get away with it. Generally, the only time she's up past that time is because I'm training or we're not leaving the gym till later.
Okay, next time you come on with that belt over your shoulder, you're dragging Morgan on. We're gonna have a double date, okay? On the air, we're gonna make it happen. Maybe we'll play the Newlywed Game or something. What do you think, Jess?
Good idea.
I love that.
Oh, all right, we'll work on that. So this fight coming down, it's January 29th. And what can we look for in this fight? What are you looking to get done, accomplish, besides winning the belt? Are you looking to finish this man? Are you looking to make a statement, put a stamp on this fight? How is this fight going to go down?
I'm looking to finish it. I want to say 4th round. If it happens other than that, all the better. But I'm more or less, you called it the right thing. It's a redemption fight. It was a fight that I beat myself in. I made some mistakes, and I didn't let go the way I should have. And that's not going to be a problem this time.
There we go. Oh, I'm fired up, Jess. You fired up about this?
Fired up, Moss.
Jesse just put our baby to sleep, so Jesse's like, she's ready to party, right?
Sure. I'm just making sure she stays asleep.
What about kids? You talking about kids with Morgan? Like, or when are we going to be popping out some babies?
Hopefully not for a couple of years. I want to enjoy married life first. If it happens, it happens, but we're not exactly trying to make it happen anytime soon.
So you're using protection or you're pulling out? What's going on?
I'm not going to answer because any further, she's going to be mad at me.
We asked William Knight how big his dick was. So, I mean, I think that was fair, right? That question wasn't that bad, was it?
Yeah, but he still didn't answer.
All right. Anyway, maybe later. Maybe you are fair. You can answer that. Okay. Yeah, I would advise that. It's a good idea because we popped out a kid quick, and now here we are.
Well, not really.
A lot of grays.
No, we were together for about 4.5 years before we popped out a kid.
That's too soon. You might want to wait about 10, 20 years, somewhere around there. Anyway, we got a donation. Oh, this is from Ann, the knitter, Ann H. Coming in.
Hey!
Wonderful, wonderful.
Okay, let's see what Ann has to say.
Merry Christmas, Santa Claus, Christmas tree, to you Chris and Jesse and Ellie. Also Merry Christmas to Kaleb the Lionheart Harris and all the Maholists. Kaleb, good luck to you on your upcoming fight on Gen.29th for the belt. Fist, flex biceps, wonderful, wonderful. That's me, Chill Zone 95.
There we go, look at that. I saw you guys made a connection as well?
Yes. Her husband actually left his job and started his own business and has decided to sponsor me. Mike's Power Washing and other things. I apologize, guys. I'm super tired. I got the work put out on me tonight. But yes, she's a super sweet lady. Her husband's super nice. The fact that this is a private owned business that a man just started up and he's willing to all the way from Oregon, and he's willing to sponsor me, means a lot to me.
That's awesome.
And it means a lot to the fact that I've picked up several sponsors from just simply coming on and hanging out with you guys.
Oh, that's awesome, man. Hey, that's great news. Listen, we're pumped up. We're proud of it's ridiculous. Anytime we have people on the show, we're so biased. Like, we don't have the opponent on, and if we do, we're just like, you know, like, and then when we're rooting for you guys, like, live on air, we're completely biased. It's crazy. It's like,
that is true.
I feel like we bring people on. It's like part of the family over here. So Kaleb, you're part of the family. The MMA-Holes, we're proud of you, man. This belt over here.
I love it, man.
What's the victory speech going to be like? Are you going to cry, or are you going to be a man? What's going to happen here? Like, are you going to drop to the knees, and what's going to happen?
Oh, I'm going to cry. I already know it. I'm a very emotional person, and I am going to cry when that happens, because this has been a dream in the making for a long time. It didn't exactly happen the way I expected it. This isn't the UFC, but at this point, I fought on 7, now fixing to be 8 pay-per-views. I've co-main event in Miami, Florida, and I'm fixing to be main eventing for a world title that is recognized in countries all over the world. I'm gonna cry at it, man. It's just gonna happen.
You gotta cry. You have to. You know why? Because this organization, Bare Knuckle FC, is the biggest bare knuckle organization out there. They're the guys. They're the UFC, and then there's everything else. There's some good promotions, but BKFC is the one that's really super successful right now. And you are at the ground floor. You're basically the foundation. It's kind of wild because you're seeing them pull in these big names, but they're all at the end of their career, and here you are, young, bright-eyed, just basically building this thing on your back. That's quite the accomplishment.
Yeah, it can get scary at times thinking about it. So I just kind of remind myself that I'm just climbing this ladder one step at a time. You know, I'm not looking for anything other than the fact that I said that I would not retire before I'm 40 years old. So I'm 28 right now. I've got another 12 years worth of fighting left in me at least. And honestly, the only reason I'm probably not going to fight past 40 is because my best friend and wife will not let me.
Oh, so that's the plan, right? They're like, hey, the cutoff is 40.
Well, they've never gave an age, but I've been told several times that if I get to a point that they don't think I need to fight anymore, they will make sure that it doesn't happen.
Fair enough.
And I can't be mad at them for that, because they're just looking out for me. I do the same thing for them, you know, but I've never liked the idea of hearing people say that a fighter needs to retire after he's lost a couple of fights. You know, people forget that when we're fighting, it's not just about winning. Like, this is literally a part of who most of the fighters are. Most aren't out there just to get a paycheck. And so, whether we win or lose, we're putting a lot out there. So sure. I never liked hearing people say, oh, well, so-and-so needs to retire at this point. Like, no, let them fight until they feel like they've fought enough. I understand at some point you got to put a stop so you don't have brain damage, but every man has the right to do what he wants.
And it's kind of cool on Facebook to see your pops too, Kevin, right? He's so proud of you. It's kind of touching to watch. You know, like, you guys, you got some close relationship. What is his thoughts on you fighting for a championship?
Oh, he's over the moon about it. My dad's my hero. He didn't get to do a lot of extracurricular stuff. It was pretty much he graduated high school, got a job, and went to work. And so a part of me feels like, you know, I get to show him a piece of what, you know, he gets to live a little bit through me. And he's just happy to see the fact that, honestly, he's supported a kid for well beyond when he should have. And because he knew that I was going to chase my dreams. He supported me 100% when I started fighting, has never missed a fight, I don't believe. And the second I told him bare knuckle, he wanted me out of it. As soon as that first fight was over with, he was like, okay, we're going back to MMA, right? Because he'd never seen me bust it up. And it was the first time I'd ever really seen my dad worried about, like, me fighting. And I just looked at him. I said, I haven't won yet. I was like, I'm not done. And but now the transition to see him go from not really caring about it to, my dad is in more bare knuckle talk groups on Facebook than I am. I mean, he's talking about it, or he's giving his opinion. And I mean, there's some days I'm like, all right, Pops, you need to chill a little bit before I have to go mess up one of these keyboard warriors. But you know, it's been amazing. He's been very supportive of me in all my choices, and I couldn't be happier with it.
We're live with Kaleb Lionheart Harris. It's Lionheart2193 on Instagram. Go give him a follow. Got a big fight coming up January 29th. BKFC is where it's going down. Championship, welterweight championship. This is exciting, man. I'm really excited. If you have a couple of seconds, I'd like to ask questions from the chat. People,
let's do it.
All right, here we go. Caleb says he's in a chat room. If you have any questions for the future champion, I mean, listen, it's going down January 29th. Pop them in the chat, and we'll ask away on Kaleb Lionheart Harris. Okay, let's see what we got over here. Fuchs School, people have skills. What do you think about that, Caleb? Do you think school's for losers or what?
No. I definitely think we need education, because if not, we just got a bunch of idiots trying to run around and doing things. I think that college is for certain people, and then trade schools are for others.
Sure.
You know, my fiance went to school for a while for criminal justice and is going to finish her degree in less than a year, and is also decided to pick up tattooing because that's what she thinks she wants to do right now.
Wow.
So I went and bought her a tattoo gun for Christmas and said, all right, well, you're tattooing my first Pokemon tattoo on me, so get good.
That's awesome. That's pretty cool. Wow, that's wild, huh? So she's a smart girl and she's a badass at the same time. How could you go wrong?
Oh, for real, man. She's got it all. I mean, she's an artist. She does jiu-jitsu, does kickboxing, way smarter than me. So, I mean, I punted way outside my comfort zone when I hooked up with her. That's
awesome. Bailey Wright says, what does BKFC do for pre-fight medical checks?
We have to, the docs usually, depending on what state we're fighting in, I've had to go get eye exams and stuff like that done. But mostly it's the usual you'll see at a fight, you know, checks my blood pressure, makes sure that my eyes are focused, and then he'll have me do like a physical test that just kind of makes me use all of my joints and muscles to make sure that I don't have any major problems. And that's pretty much it. After that, we just get tested for the usual Hep B, Hep C, and HIV.
There you go. A Real Gamer wants to know, how do you gain hand speed? Is something you work on? Is that something you work on? I think that's what he's trying to say.
Yes, you can definitely work on your hand speed. You can find several people that are boxers that are way better than me that can demonstrate how, but a lot of it just has to do with being able to be relaxed, but at the same time tightening up your core. A lot of it's not always about how tense you are, it's more about how relaxed you are, and that's how you gain faster hand speed.
Two Joints wants to know, you ever get gonorrhea from a tractor?
No, can't say I have.
Okay, we'll end on that question. Okay, so Caleb, it's good to know you didn't get gonorrhea from a tractor.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Always use protection.
So why should people tune in January 29th to BKFC?
If you want to be a part of history and see it in the making, tune in January 29th to BKFC, or download the BK TV app and watch as I take on Elvin Brito in my redemption fight, and I claim the 165-pound championship belt for BKFC. And to anybody else out there, as usual, I love all my fans, and if any of you are going through a lot of struggles right now, I suffer with depression and anxiety. I've had those dark thoughts. Don't sit down in the dark. Just keep walking. No matter what, just keep walking, because eventually you will step into the light. If you sit down, you'll never get back up. So please just keep moving.
All right, and it looks like the people in the chat are fired up. If you're with Kaleb Harris, drop the fire emojis in the chat. Team Lionheart, we got a donation coming in from Mike H.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Kaleb, you were talking having your own business. I love it, but it's a lot of work.
There you go, and that's Mike H. Ann's husband over there saying it's a lot of work, right? A lot of work having your own
Yes,
business.
it is.
But it's satisfying though, right? Once you see that thing succeed in any way, it's such an accomplishment, correct?
Oh yeah, and I tell people all the time, I was like, the beautiful thing about it is I'm the boss, the star employee, and the company screw up. So if anything goes wrong, I mean, it's my head. If anything goes right, it's my praise. But it's definitely been stressful, especially when you immediately got to go from cutting grass and mulching leaves and weed eating to the gym to teach kids class, and then train yourself, and then do rounds afterwards if I got a fight camp coming up. So during the peak summertime, I'm pretty much getting up at 5 a.m. in the morning and not going to bed till about 9:30, 10 o'clock at night.
That's wild, man. That is some life. It's crazy, man, when you think about what you guys go through. You know, in the beginning, it's just like it's a grind. We saw Chris Daukaus, who just headlined the UFC against Derek Lewis. The guy was a cop and a UFC fighter. The police department says, hey, listen, you got to choose one. He's like, I'm going to be a UFC fighter, and then gets freaking knocked out. It's just like, it's so heartbreaking to watch.
I didn't know that part of it. I thought he chose to leave just to focus more on fighting. But yeah, I do feel a bit bad for him for that. Because, I mean, that's why all the fans, all the true diehard fans, y'all need to support your local fighters. Mm-hmm. Because that's exactly where me and my best friend Dustin have come from. We're from a small town. Like, I graduated the class of 42. Wow. So people from my hometown that I graduated with, people that were seniors when I was freshman, they've all bought tables to come watch me fight now. They're the same people that watched me fight when I was fighting in Meridian, Mississippi at 18 for my debut. We don't make a lot of money in the beginning. I mean, I'm just now getting to where I can say I'm comfortably getting paid as a professional fighter. And so just support your local fighters, because like I said, most of the time them paychecks aren't exactly what we're fighting for.
Sure. Yeah, wow, it's wild, man. I got nothing but respect for you guys, really, and especially you, Kaleb. You're the man. And if you have any sponsors you want to shout out, now's the time to do so.
Yes, Mike Hill. Again, man, I appreciate it. Downrange Lifestyle, thank you for always keeping me in some of the best gear and supporting me for the last several years. Jimmy Lyle of Lyle Machinery has supported me for a long time. DePuma Pressure Washing, my best friend Dustin DePuma owns a pressure washing business and is fixing to start his own CBD company. So I'm happy for that. Just so many. Combat 8 and one of the biggest sponsors in the world, Mary Jane's House of Glass. Y'all have helped me through a lot of things. I'm probably forgetting some right now. I'm really sorry. I've been up since 5 o'clock this morning. And I've already ran 3 miles. So to all my other sponsors, if I forgot any, I really appreciate y'all. Thank y'all. And I'll make it up on the next one, I promise.
There we go. And Kaleb, listen, whatever you do, when you win this belt, don't forget the MMA-Holes, okay? Just don't forget us, because I mean, listen.
Oh, 100%. We're coming on. We're coming on the next week.
Nice.
I mean.
Okay, good. I was getting nervous there for a second. You know, Kaleb wins the belt. That's it. See you later, MMA-Holes. Kaleb, listen, we wish you the best of luck. We're really a big fan watching you just grow from blossom from the beginning of the bare knuckle days to now fighting for a belt. Very proud of you, and congratulations on your upcoming wedding that's going to happen. And you know, the sky's the limit.
I appreciate it, guys. Thank y'all for having me on.
Okay, there he is, Kaleb Lionheart Harris on the MMA-Holes Live. Let's go, baby. One of the good guys. It's really cool, man, right? Just like seeing, like in the beginning, let me just tell you a quick backstory how we met. We were doing a fight reaction, bare knuckle. We were like, we passed on the first event. I'm like, this is stupid. And then there was the second one, I believe. Yeah. They ran a second event, BKFC 2 or whatever. And we're like, okay, let's just do a fight reaction to it. and Kaleb was on the undercard. He fought another Harris, actually.
Yeah.
The guy's last name was Harris. So we kept on getting them confused. It was like Kaleb Harris versus Harris Stevenson, I think his name was.
I can't remember.
Actually, I think that's his name. It was Harris Stevenson versus Kaleb Harris. And we're just joking around, Harris versus Harris, blah, blah, blah. Kaleb, after the fight, he stumbled on us, I guess, on YouTube, and he reached out and says, hey, I saw the reaction, funny stuff, love to, do one of the shows. So like, okay, cool, man. We don't know you that well. You don't know us that well, but let's just fucking do this. And then ever since then, every fight, we've been having him on here, and we've just been watching him skyrocket from the best knockout in BKFC history all the way to this title fight. It's crazy. Crazy stuff, man. It's really cool. Things like this make me super proud and happy to be part of this show, man. When you're meeting guys like this, people that you see what he does, the guy's got a day job. He's got his own business. The guy's out there hustling, and then at night, he's a savage. Goes out there and just smoking fools. It's crazy, man. So I'm Team Lionheart. Very proud of him. And, man, it's crazy, man. Like we talk about, bare knuckle, bringing these boxers in, people that are, at the end of their career, big names in the MMA world or whatever, just trying to catch a paycheck. Here's Kaleb. Like, he's part of the foundation. Mm-hmm. Young, up-and-coming fighter. So, really cool. All right, Jess, how you feeling? You all right?
Yeah, I just can't breathe, She's
got breathing. This girl's going through some shit, man. She's going through some shit. She's got these breathing problems, and COVID has been, it just won't, like, it's like we need an exorcism. We need something, free Jesse Bell. Jesse Bell, may I remove the demon from your chest? Jesse, praise the Lord.
All right.
And let me tell you something, Jesse. I can remove the demon right now from your chest. All I need you to do, Jesse, it just says, hallelujah.
All right, stop.
Can you say it?
Stop.
Oh, okay.
Thanks.
I'm trying to do a live. I mean, how about that? We do a live exorcism on air. I pull the COVID out of you.
Not necessary.
No, okay. And they're saying, hope you get better. Okay. We all hope Jesse gets better. Hit the like button for Jesse. And let's finish up the news and get the food out of here. Let's see what else we got here. What did we miss? We talked a little Belal on the rankings. The John Jones situation. What's this? What Jake Hager was? What the fuck was his dick gonna hang out in this picture? What is this?
John Jones is laughing at Hager missing out on an opportunity of a lifetime, according to MMA News. John Jones got a good kick out of Jake Hager's recent comments about slow rolling the negotiations to compete against one another in a grappling matchup. Last month, John Jones dropped some breaking news on his Twitter page. In a since deleted tweet, Jones announced he would be competing against Jake Hager in a professional grappling match hosted by Fury Pro Grappling on December 9th.
I am very uncomfortable with this picture. It's got the weird angle going down, like that pelvic angle. Like I feel like he has no pants on. Where did they find this picture? Is this in Bellator? Would he come in with no pants on?
I don't know.
And why does John Jones look so Oh, it's after a fight. Okay. All right, fine. So it must be after the Dominic Reyes fight.
Hager, however, accused Jones of jumping the gun. He tweeted out, first of all, it's AEW on TNT and undefeated Bellator heavyweight Jake Hager. Secondly, no terms have been discussed or contract signed. We can talk if terms are right. Jones seems to then pull the plug on any conversation by turning his attention to someone, and quite literally anyone else, by issuing an open challenge to another big boy to grapple with him. Then in a recent appearance on the Throwing Down podcast, Hager spilled the details on why he publicly pumped the brakes on Jones's announcement, and he also left the door wide open for the grappling match to still take place. He said, I was at dinner one night and got the phone call from my head coach, Josh Crabtree, and he said, what's up, man? I got a great situation for you. You should say yes before I even tell you what it is.
Hold on a second. We got a tropical donation from Tom.
I am scarred by the chat. Now all I can picture is some hick saying, hey Jeb, is your attractor dating anyone? She's got a nice tailpipe.
Thank you, Tropic Tom, and thank you to all the donators that came in tonight. Really appreciate your support.
Wonderful.
All right, I love Josh. He's the man. I'm like, yes. He tells me, I'm still like, yes, let's make it happen. So as far as I know, we were waiting on the negotiations and finalizing everything. He jumped the gun a little bit, made that Twitter announcement. We hadn't had anything signed. I know my response was harsh, but you got to get my name right and my company name right. Weeks after these comments were made by Hager, John Jones offered this amused retort. He said, you can't gloat about turning down a grappling match with the GOAT. You had the opportunity of a lifetime. Now you're doing interviews about what you would have done.
Oh, God. I am so over this. I'm so over John. Like, it's crazy. You were the GOAT. Yes, it's a hot mess. Like, I feel like everything that comes out John Jones, it just gets worse and worse. Like, he becomes more unlikable. It's nuts.
Well, he's trying to save face, I think.
He's doing a terrible job. Am I off on this? Like, I feel like he's just, I don't know, he's just digging the grave for himself. Is anyone like, oh yeah, right on, John? Like, is anyone like reading this shit and getting all pumped up? Not me. All right, we spoke about DC. Now we're gonna move into Jake Paul. The $5 million. All right. So is there anything like that we didn't touch on in this story, or?
No, we already touched on this pretty much.
All right, Jake. What is weird? You would think with all that money now, he would maybe cut his hair, or I don't know, just like, okay, your hairline's receding. Just fucking shave it or something. I don't know. What are we doing with this thing? Okay.
John McCarthy says Derek Lewis is a gatekeeper and likely won't ever become the UFC champion.
Okay, John McCarthy. Let me talk to you for a second here, big man. John McCarthy, I made a prediction that Derek Lewis will have gold before he's retired. Come at me, bro. What do you know? You're not mystical. I'm telling you right now, it's gonna happen. You with this gatekeeper shit. Yeah, okay, he fell flat on his face against Cyril Gane. But let's be honest. If Gane loses this fight, the mean, lean man Francis Ngannou will have that belt. And who beat him? Derek Lewis. Derek fucking Lewis. All right, John McCarthy? The fuck you don't know what the hell you're talking about. All right, what did he have to say?
He said he's a gatekeeper, though, because he's been given 2 title shots. He had that one against Cormier. He lost that one. He had the interim one against Cyril Gane. He lost that one. Look, he can fight. He's tough. He's got certain aspects of the fighting game that he's incredibly powerful at. His ground and pound is mean. He's super strong, but technical guys are going to give him fits. So is he ever going to be that guy that's going to be the champion?
Yeah, he's not going to be a champion. No, he's not going to be a champion, right? Come on. What are we doing? John McCarthy, what the fuck are you doing? What are you talking about? What are you talking about, Willis? Does anyone agree with John McCarthy? Come on. It's Derek Lewis. By the way, Derek Lewis got pulled over. Let me see. Where you at? The Beast. He got pulled over. Make sure you put your phone on.
All right, sir, your insurance is confirmed. This is a warning. Your signature at the blue X, no court, no fine. You can be stopped just for the no front license plate. Just to let you know.
Okay.
I've had folks tell me about the expense of the car and things like that. It's up to you how it's mounted and how much you do or do not want to spend on it. I can't tell you that. But it's up to you. It does need to have one on the front, though, sir.
All right. Thank you.
Take care. Stay safe, please.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right, Chris Dawkins. I'm still 2-0. It just gave me a warning. You tried it.
What the? Oh, Derek. Okay, Pena response to Ronda Rousey wannabe Harrison warning. By the way, this thing has taken a life of its own with the not this story, but I went down that rabbit hole of Juliana Pena saying the mother thing and how, oh God, the Amanda Nunes on Instagram, like shaming her for saying that she's a real mother just because she didn't birth the child. I went down that whole rabbit hole and I was just like, what am I doing? What's going on here? Like, it got so out of control. Juliana Pena, I mean, Jesus, she didn't say anything that bad. She said she's the first real mother that birthed a child. It's not a big deal. It's not really that big of a deal. She clarified what she said. She fucking apologized, and they're fucking shitting on her. It's like, guys, like lesbos. What are we doing? Just chill. Why is that? I mean, come on, Amanda. You lost the belt. Okay. Go get it back now. What are we doing? Anyway, response to Ronda Rousey wannabe Harrison warning. What'd she say? I think she's the lesser of the training partner for her and Amanda Nunes, Pena told MMA Junkie. If that's the case and I just took out Amanda, I don't know what kind of position that would put her in. But she's been fighting the B League. I've been fighting in the UFC. I've been fighting at the top of the division. I'm fighting in the biggest league of the sport. So I'm not paying too much attention to what she's doing down there. Okay, thank you. By the way, what is Kayla Harrison? Let's can we all talk about what the hell's going on with Kayla Harrison's hair? Is that a fucking surf wave? Like, what the hell's going on here? Kayla, what the fuck? It looks like there should be a surfboard under that thing with a shark coming after it. Like, what the hell kind of haircut is that? Jesus Christ. Anyway, so that's what Juliana Pena thinks about Kayla Harrison, in case anyone cared. Ladies and germs, we do not have UFC for a minute. It's going to be a little while until we get UFC back. So on Friday, we're not going to be fooking off, unfortunately, but we will be doing a cooking stream, a Christmas Eve extravaganza on Friday night. So make sure you hit that notification bell. We'll be opening up whatever presents come. We have a Pulse. Thank you very much for the present. Really appreciate that. We'll open it on air. But yeah, we'll be just hanging with you guys, having a couple of drinks, just chilling out on Friday night on this channel. It's going to be completely smooth and silky and wonderful, wonderful. If we don't see you on Friday, it's all good. Have a Merry Christmas, friends. Merry Christmas to the entire community. I appreciate the support from everyone, the people, the MMA-Holes, everyone in this community for being wonderful, wonderful. I thank you for a magnificent, wonderful, wonderful 2021. It's been an interesting 2 years. The move, the pandemic, having a baby, getting married. I mean, it's been quite the ride during this Rona, but it's been fun. And I wouldn't want to do it with anyone else but these people, the MMA-Holes. Merry Christmas to everyone. In the comment section down below, let us know what's your favorite Christmas movie. Happy holidays. And always remember, don't be an a-hole. Be an MMA-Hole.